All right, ladies and gents, I got Mr. Dave Carroll in the house. He's CEO, founder of Dope Marketing. This has been on my calendar for some time. And dude, I just want to say warm welcome to the HSBC podcast. How are things today, my man?
Appreciate it, dude. It is too cold for me. We Minneapolis, I think we're -6 today. I don't really do not the best goal setter, countdown, timeline person, but I leave for Puerto Rico in 6 days and I'm counting the minutes.
Wow.
So yeah, it's cold.
Dude, yeah, that is cold. And man, we've been connected on Facebook for some time. I want to say, did you buy a house in Puerto Rico? Let's start there. What happened there?
Yeah, so we haven't purchased yet. The community we're in is not the most affordable place to buy a home. And in Puerto Rico, it can be tough. Like the jumbo loans are a little different and doing that type of stuff. So we spent a lot of time down there this year in 2025. I was on island about 4.5 months. We rented another property in the community we live from January to January. So we did a lease that expires. We got another year from January to January. And then my plan is being down there 6 or 7 months in 2026. And then really, dude, I just turned 40 a couple weeks ago. And
Congrats.
yeah, man, first grade chest hair. It's crazy. So yeah, we will be spending for the next years some time. Renting or owning is not a huge deal to me down there. Like we're keeping our house in Minnesota. But yeah, as right now I'm a renter.
Wow, dude, it's so cool. I mean, I'll give you this. I've noticed on your social in the last year, your posts that first off, are you writing those Facebook posts yourself or do you have a team?
Well, I mean, I use a little bit of AI that I've built out that kind of knows me, but I don't just blop, copy, paste.
Yeah.
I use AI a little, but it's my voice.
Because, man, I'll give you this. I've known about you for probably 5 years, but the last year that we've been on Facebook, the posts you're making, I'm just I got to get this guy on the show because we'll get into your story, but we have most of our listeners are sub $1 million, a lot of exterior cleaning business owners. And dude, a lot of our clients even use your company for flyer printing, flyer design, sign printing. So I want to talk about that too. So I just wanted to say, the content you put out, I'd like to think myself a pretty good sniffer for BS AI content. And I'm like, dude, it actually looks like you're just up with a coffee, writing that stuff out in the morning. So whatever you're doing with that, I would just like to see more because it's excellent.
I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, for me, I couldn't spell AI last October. I'm not Mr. AI guru, whatever. My roots, I've owned a power washing company for almost 16 years now that I still own. I've been phased out of for about 8 years. It was the first job I ever really had in my life. And my roots are in home service. Like you mentioned, it sounds like some of your guys' audience uses us. Very thankful for that. I think it's important, man, to understand where we come from and our upbringing. And we just had a crazy situation happen. I've been on the internet for 16 years. We actually received our first death threat last week. Man. Dude, it was nuts. And just to see I will never let that hold me back from being open, from sharing my life, from sharing my story. I think that's very important, but I appreciate you checking this stuff out.
Yeah. No, man, absolutely. I saw that post, man. That's just absolutely freaking insane. I think you've done I think your personality is one that you're very passionate, and I'd say you're very bold and very out there. And unfortunately, you're going to get those, snakes of the internet that pop their heads up. And it that post, dude, got a lot of engagement of people just being like, dude, I would report that. I would do this. I would do that. And yeah, dude, it's absolutely crazy. So props to you, man, for not letting that, naysayers deviate you from the mission you're building. Cause, I had Keith Kalfas, I think you're buddies with him. He came on.
He's my boy. Yeah.
Yeah, man. He came on my show a year ago. He was the easiest guy to interview because I think we got to 2 questions and he just ripped it. So anyways, man, we'll link up, but he did a really cool interview of your company. So I want to talk about that, but let's start where it all started. Lion's Share Maintenance is your company. Just share as much as you want from how that started, the structure today, revenue, whatever you want to share, kind of paint the picture. Let's start there.
Yeah, so ex knucklehead growing up, got in a bunch of trouble, went to 9 high schools. I spent some time when I was 21 to 25, I was in prison for 4 years. And when I'd never really had a job in my life. When I got out, a friend of mine got me a job washing windows on a route work. And I was the worst employee in the history of employment on the planet. But I learned that I didn't have many skills. I didn't really know any trades, but I got exposed to this industry and I just hit the ground running. Within the first year and a half of starting our company, Chris Lamborghini's and Thad invited me to speak at the NOLA show because I'd come up with this idea of like, I used to throw on a safety vest and get myself all worked up. And I would set off Voxer and like walk into a strip mall. Like, sure, hold on, Bill, ma'am, calm down. I need the access to the property manager or wherever I can get water access for the building. And I would do like unsolicited proposals for like
Yeah.
commercial work. And I would put on the internet. Like Facebook was just coming out. This was like 15 years ago, the boards and the forums and WCRA and all that stuff. And I got my first opportunity to speak way before I should have. I tried to talk myself out of it 3 times. Like Thad made me do it. Shout out my man Thad. He's a great human. I I found that I really enjoyed business, marketing, data, scaling companies. Wasn't necessarily the best operator. Like getting out of my own way was a skill that I had, but almost to a fault. And so 3 or 4 years into the window cleaning company, was still very active doing the work, but I came out with a product that was like nowadays it would be like a Panda Doc or a DocuSign. It was called Proposal. It's closethejob.com for any of us OGs that were back in the day. But what happened, I couldn't spell the word software, but I sold this thing to 400 people in 90 days for $30 a month. And I was like, dude, this is easier than washing windows. Let's focus
Yeah.
on this. And so was
Yeah.
still running the cleaning company, doing speaking engagements. My wife and my brother-in-law kind of took over operations of the business. We got to $1 million in revenue in our 6th year in business.
Wow.
And that was really when I took a step back from the company. I got into the world of like data. I was doing some agency stuff. And then about 6 years ago, I had the vision for dope marketing, which ended up just being kind of like a compilation of my career. It was local business, marketing, sales, audience targeting. And then when I really saw blue ocean was like direct mail and print versus like starting a Facebook or Google agency or SEO or something like that. So we've been doing dope, officially launched about 5 years ago. And this company has been a bit of a rocket ship. We went,
Dude, it's a rocket ship. Like you're doing like multi 8 figures, are you not? Like I've heard that.
yeah, man, we went from 12 employees to 108 employees in like less than 2.5 years. We'll do a little over 30 million in revenue this year. Still like strap startup, no partners, clean cap table. And dude, I did like everything in life, man. It's been a learning experience. I went to 9 high schools, went to prison, and took out 3 student loans to sell weed with. I'm not your Harvard
Yeah.
MBA grad or anything like that, but I take an approach to life and business, David, is like we all bleed, we all breathe, we all have ideas, and if you wake up earlier, don't collect the money until the work is done. And if there's ever an issue, have a conversation around it, like
Mhm.
competition, market share, seasonality, all that is based behind like showing up and doing the work and being a
Yeah.
good.
Dude, I think why people like you though, in my opinion, one of the reasons is you're very successful in business, but I don't think it like don't take this the wrong way. I actually don't think you like carry yourself that way, to be honest. Like you just carry yourself in a very like we're both wearing our black tee and like it's just like I don't know. So I brought some guests on and they just seem they could have a $20 million, $30 million business, but they're almost like over corporatized, I guess, where I think the fact that you service the home contractor dudes and dudettes, but mostly dudes, you really resonate with them, and I think that's why people like hearing your story. Have you heard that? People tell you that before?
I have heard that, and I appreciate it, man. For me, it's like I think everyone has a affinity for authenticity, and I think that one thing I just really pride myself on is I know myself very well, and I try to not do the dance around. Dude, there's a lot of successful people that are really nice, and I've met a lot of successful people that are kind of pretentious and not. And like I think that what's important, that at least for me to explain, is like your definition of success changes over the years and the chapters of life and the seasons that you go through. And what I've found, I've done a lot of investment in, masterminds and personal growth and just paying to be in the room type stuff.
Mhm.
And the consistent thing that I've found is the people that I consider successful are just very transparent versions of themselves. And like, whether it's how you communicate, how you carry yourself, the name of your company, your branding, whatever it is, I think it's just very important to be transparent, to be authentic, to be trustworthy, to lean into who you are in your story. And I pride myself on that.
Yeah, no, man, people love that. I got another one for you, man. You're 16 years in owning the cleaning business. I'm curious because actually this March I actually sold my cleaning business to focus on my consulting business. And for me, man, I just found it. We had both companies, a team of 18, and we are growing. But for me, I just found it was almost like what Hermosi calls your like shower thoughts was like, oh man, this person's pissed off at this person. The crew got in an accident. We're dealing with this liability claim. How do you kind of compartmentalize, like, you're running this large business, but kind of the cleaning bit? I'm curious, like, what's the mindset of still keeping it going?
I literally haven't set foot in that place in 7 years. Like,
Oh,
I
wow. Okay.
don't know the name of the employees. I don't know the jobs that go. If something went wrong on a job, I literally have not heard about that because I made a commitment. So I do an exercise 4 times a year. I know there's a fancy acronym for it. I don't know it. I sit down and I pull out a piece of paper and I grab a pen and I go, what do I like doing? What do I not like doing? What am I good at? What am I not good at? And I just hold myself very accountable to that. Like, I am a visionary to a fault. I am not a systems process day to day. I'm a worse manager than I am an employee. Like, I am very good, and I've gotten a muscle that I've trained over the years in my career, is I'm just good at giving up control of things. I think it was Gary Vee that said, like, if you find an employee that does 70% of what you do, you found a great employee. I completely agree. Give me 20 or 30%. I have really high expectations. Like like a job has a role. And again, not being a system process guy, I'm a huge proponent of EOS. And it's just, you got to give up. To have control is to give up all control. And that doesn't mean this is what's going to happen. It doesn't matter. It's like, you have to communicate your expectations enough in a workplace to be able to hold someone accountable for what you hired them to do. As an employer, I am buying your minutes during the day for us to have a shared goal of where you want to be in your career. And for me, it's like, you just got to it's so easy for us to like get in our heads about things. And when I look at, to your question, the separation of like the cleaning company versus being an entrepreneur versus chasing a squirrel, I just really believe in the Kobe Bryant Mamba mentality of like, you sit down once a season, once a quarter, and you sign a contract with yourself about what you're going to focus on. And for me, it's the discipline and the accountability of like, I will give up control of things that I have a good enough handle on the way they should go, because if I implement a system of accountability for people, and it like, look, it gets so simple, like talk about this, right? It's like, how do you actually do it? Well, for me with the cleaning company, I love the home service industry. Like, as much as I love my children, it is the foundation of my career. I believe that it is a in route for whether you're intelligent, you have experience, maybe you have an adverse background, the barrier to entry, like it is, to me, capitalism is compiled in the home service space. And I think that like, when I look at what I was put on this earth to do, it wasn't to run a home service company. I think it was a great introduction in my career, but as an entrepreneur, I saw so many different opportunities. And through my career, for anyone that's known me for 15, 16 years since I've been in this space, is like, I've been as guilty as anyone of like chasing the squirrel, doing the thing, trying to figure it out. But the commitment I made when I started Dope was like, no partnerships, no affiliate deals, no side hustles, no nothing. We're in this, and this is what we're doing. And it was a couple years before that I got out of the cleaning company, but I had just seen so many people that were so much smarter than me, whether they automated their business, my boy Brandon Vaughn and everything he did, or Josh Latimer, or these other guys that had like done this shit and set it up, that were my generation, that were my age. When I came into this thing, and it was, I'll throw some names out, like Doug Rucker, Ron Musgrave, Chris Lamborghini's, like the real people that were in this, Ray Burke, the people that were in forever. What I wanted when I started was like, how do I get to seven figures? How do I get off the truck? And I got intentional about that I was never a good technician. I'm not that you can look up videos of me trying to set up a roof cleaning unit. 14.
How not to do it?
Exactly. Yeah, follow those of how not to do it. Dude, I like built a skid and stained it because it was pretty. Like that's how much but it was like I knew very quickly I wasn't the best technician. And I didn't like managing the fields. I liked doing the sales and going to meet with either the high-end homeowners or like the property managers, the engineers. But then I saw that, I was like, this isn't that hard. Like I can show someone how to do this. The other thing that worked for my positive and my negative was like, dude, I'm in Minneapolis. We can only operate
Right.
flights we had, 8-9 years ago or whatever, but it was like 7 months out of the year. And then really only like 5 of those are peak season and you're scraping in the summer. To me, it was hard to provide for my family with such a seasonal business. And I just saw, I saw people that have fought that fight for years. I mean, even in Texas or Florida, there's still Christmas, there's still New Year's, there's still summer, there's still whatever. And not that it's not a great business, but for me, I just knew that my strengths were not the things that made the home service company operate. Like sales, I could do marketing, I could, but I always like in knowing myself and being true to myself, I knew that the things that came to me naturally, the things that I were good at, the things that I liked doing, it wasn't the things that got you to a 3, 5, 8, $10 million home service company. And I didn't see that as my destiny.
Yeah. It's so well said, man. I've heard it said that home services is not to be disrespectful, but I thought it was summed up well. It's a great, almost white belt business. You're getting started, you're kind of learning the ins and outs. And dude, for sure, like if you look at the cleaning space, like you look at someone like Wesley Bloom, he's scaled really successful pressure.
Oh, he's a young stud. I've known him.
Yeah, he's coming on in a few weeks after you. It's just like there are those unicorns, absolutely, but I think like you'll love this one, David. My own cleaning business, we had a clean record of we call it WorkSafe BC. I'm in Canada here. If you have no accidents, guess what your premium is on payroll, man? Drum roll, 9%. 9% extra on payroll. So you're automatically paying that. Then you're paying sick time, holidays, everything. It's tough to really. You can build, I'd say, a really good business, but to really build an incredible sandbox, it's I don't want to say impossible, but it's just extremely difficult. So you see guys like Latimer, Michael Dahlke, all these guys, Brandon, they built it. It launched them. It catapulted them into a new sandbox, and it's just like pretty inspiring to see. All right. Well, hey, if you own an exterior cleaning business and you want to make 2026 your absolute best year in business, then I'm here to motivate you a little bit here in this next minute. Okay. Every time that I've committed to my success and locked in to work with a business coach, I've been able to move my business to the next level. I've done it with my painting business, with my washing business, and with my consulting business right now, home service business coach. And so this is a message for you that at the end of January 31st, I'm going to actually be increasing the price of both my coaching programs, okay? Our accelerator is moving from $297 a month to $397 a month, and our top tier program, the Scaling Blueprint, is moving from $1,000 a month to $1,500 per month. So if you've been kind of circulating around the content here at HSBC, you're kind of half in wondering about getting a business coach, maybe you've talked to our team, you've been around us here on the podcast, this is kind of your message, kind of a last warning. If you want to get in on the 2025 coaching rates, you want to jump into our HSBC family, and you want to see how we're working with now over 130 exterior cleaning businesses to scale those companies so the owner gets more income and freedom, then you're going to want to check out our coaching programs below to get more information. Now, without further ado, we'll get back to the show.
One thing we did, I appreciate that, man. One thing we did this year is we had my brother-in-law go get his GC license, and we've now gotten into interior. We did a ton of work at my house so I could kind of see how the process worked or whatever. But we did 100 roofs this year. We did stuff. We did deck stuff. But it's fascinating to see how private equity is coming into the space. There was a very duplicatable model in the 2000s where this guy came in and really proved it out, first in HVAC and then plumbing and electric. Very different industries than cleaning. But the advantage that I see for any business owner that's willing to explore it, and again, I wasn't super involved in this process. I know enough to be dangerous, but it was like
Mhm.
over the past 15 years, we had built such a solid customer base, 15,000 people in our House Call Pro or whatever, the ability to offer auxiliary services that can be subcontracted where you can
Yeah.
still manage the work with your reputation. Lion share really like I see some of these guys that get, the window cleaning, the power washing, house cleaning stuff up to 2 million, 3 million, 5 million, 8 million. We've only really done like 850 to 1.2 million a year in like our peak years.
Yeah.
But like, dude, next year we'll do 5 to 8 million in subcontract.
With the extra
And
services.
we'll still do the million and stuff.
Yeah.
But with that customer base, with the relationships with commercial, with some of the other stuff, this business will do 5 to 8 million at a 20% margin. We'll bring home to our household 1.5 to $2 million now because we established the business. And one piece of advice I would give as we go into the winter or whenever this comes out, I know we're beginning of December, like the downtime is the best time to be looking at projects. You don't want to be doing projects during the year when you're in and like getting after it. But right now, this end of Q4 into Q1, I would just invite everyone to be curious and look at like, are there other things as you look towards growth in your business? I always was really uncomfortable with subcontracting because like we couldn't own it. And then dope got like really, really deep into some of these other industries, into roofing, into HVAC, into painting, into some of these even businesses outside of home service. It was like, as long as you have good managers, really anything is possible, especially in like the home service, the building industry. So just want to interject that like there's more opportunity in home service if you keep your eyes open based on the work you've already done.
I love it. Dude, another question. I didn't prep you for this, and you're going to love it. Is you're a very visionary guy.
Yeah.
Where do you see the home service space, say, going in 5 years? And if you wouldn't mind speaking to like, call it like a $500,000 business owner, like they maybe have a team member or two, maybe someone in the office, like, we hear private equity. You're more well versed in this than I am. Like, what do you see in 5 years, and what could that owner do that maybe has the words exit thinking somewhere percolating in their brain?
So I was having a conversation with a friend of mine this morning that owns a national business. They do, if you've ever seen like the coating industry, they do like coatings for roofs in the life of a roof. Very successful guy. My friend was telling me this morning about some of the things going on right now. So we saw COVID, right? Like everyone was locked in and the home service industry blew up because no one could spend their money anywhere. And when there's 350 million Americans, there's 90 million homeowners. 9 out of 10 Americans, the number one financial transaction they'll have in their life is the purchase of a home. Like David giving David the check to buy the home from the bank. The second, third, and fourth largest investment, it's not vacation, it's not braces, it's not college for your kids. It is maintenance, improvement, and upkeep to that property. And so what COVID showed us was like, homeowners will continue to invest in their home even when the world is burning. So private equity that was already aggressive in certain spaces got a little bit more like aggressive, seeing where the money was being spent, where the solid things are happening. But I say that with a grain of salt because when you sell a business, you really have to consider like what you're doing it. So quick story, my younger brother, who's 37 years old, sold his company there in the athletic space for $40 million 2 months ago.
Wow.
And they did a math equation. It took them about a year. They did a math equation and said, the amount of money that we're going to sell for, that we're going to get after it's all said and done, we got to roll some back in, we got to pay taxes. They ended up with like $8-9 million each in a money market account when it was all said and done.
Sweet.
That was more money than they were going to pay themselves over 10 years. It was like they took $500,000 to $1 million a year out of this very successful business. But that was the decision that him and his business partner had. And so when I hear home service business owners talking about exiting, yeah, it's really sexy to watch Tommy's story and Brandon's story and these big exits in this stuff. But like these businesses, depending on the industry or the vertical you're in, you got to have your shit so tight to even get close to any of these multipliers that you read about on the internet. It's just not realistic to think that you're going to have a business that like makes a couple $100,000 a year and sell it for millions and millions and millions of dollars. And the other accountability part here, and I'll get into the where do I see the industry going because it's part of this, is like, when you look at what is the home service industry, it's a lot of people that worked for someone or worked for their parents and learned how to do something. It's a lot of technician focus. It's a lot of maybe sales individuals, or maybe you went to accounting school and you understand numbers and there's a profit margin. But it's like, when you get into the depths and the books of these businesses, 7 out of 10 of them, 8 out of 10 of them just aren't ran that well because they're not ran by operators, not ran by financial people. It's like, I'm paying myself 80 to 150 grand a year somehow. I got my credit card tied in and my cell phone bill and my DoorDash is coming off the company account. Like all of that shit works against your exit multiplier. I think that the home service business, I won't say like is getting spoiled by private equity, because there's not a ton of those acquisitions going on. Like even in the cleaning space, I think there could be. But what, like some of the trends when I was talking, I say all that to say, my friend that I was talking about this morning was explaining something to me. So they're in the process of getting into like Home Depot and Lowe's with their product and stuff like that. And what we saw during COVID and what we've seen coming out of it is like these box stores. Well, it's DIY, right? You go to Home Depot, why? So you can like buy the lamp and buy, you can screw in the switch. And dude, that was for the boomers. Like the boomers DIY. My generation, 40, whatever, is like, dude, we don't even know how to change oil. We don't know how to like replace our thing. We don't know how to whatever. I'm not saying all of us, but like, it's a different market now. I see, and I'm going to go to like the higher end services, the HVAC, plumbing, the electric, the roofing. What's happening now is like the suppliers, I think it was SRS got bought by Home Depot. They are a roofing manufacturer. Home Depot is going to be getting into purchasing these home service companies. And I'm not talking about your mom and pop company, but the facilitation of the work that's going on in the Lowe's and the Home Depots and the Menards around the world is like, no longer do I think is going to be the homeowner going to that store. And this is going to take some years to happen. But it's not going into Home Depot to buy your own light switch to do it. It's to go pick your product, to hire the contractor that's trusted, that's approved, more similar to like an Angie's List or a Home Advisor. I know there's some nasty, but like that mentality of like, give me an estimate by a preferred vendor that I'm going to schedule. And so like, I caution home service business owners, whether you're doing 100,000 a year, $500,000 a year, $1 million a year plus in top line revenue. I believe that a home service business owner's number one job going into 2026, or if you're watching this in 2026, your job right now, you need to have clean data in your CRM, because AI's here, regardless if you've given yourself permission to incorporate it in your life or your business or not. The tools that used to take guys and girls like me that understand audience targeting, different platforms, cross-channel marketing, how to get in front of your perfect customer, you're not going to need a human to do that anymore. All you need is clean data in your CRMs from the jobs you've previously done, because Skynet or AI or whatever now can use that data to get very predictive around your targeting. And these agencies and these CRMs, you see it happening already over the past years. They're adding features and tools and trainings so that you can use that data to not only get the targeting better than an expert needing to do it or an agency for you, but I believe the tools are still coming. We're building some of them. There are other people building some of them, where it's like the expertise of getting in front of the people that are just more likely to use your business, that's already becoming on autopilot. And then the execution of the marketing, that's going to be the job of the agencies or the marketing companies or the CRMs or whatever. But I think right now for these business owners, like, look, economy's still down, money's still expensive. Like everyone heard about SaaS multipliers. Fine.
It's not happening.
8, 12, 17x multiplier. It's not real. My business right now that does tens of millions of dollars a year in revenue, I can only get a 4 to 6x multiplier right now. We're 5 years.
You think that's it? Hey,
I know that. I know it for a fact, like 100% fact. Unless you want to sign 10-year golden handcuffs. Well, again, I'm not a good employee, so that wouldn't really work. But it's like the home service space, there are still good multipliers, but like PE and roofing is rough right now. Like there are a lot of investments made in roofing companies based off the insurance industries that are not panning out. And I
Right.
think that I was watching, I think it's really interesting, like the Christmas light industry and how much that's grown
Yeah.
your cleaning business over the past 5 years because it is such a great bolt-on and add-on. I personally think that there will be an opportunity in the next 3 to 5 years where private equity will go deeper into these different home service industries like lawn care, like power washing, like pool cleaning, like these things. But again, it's not buying the customer list, meaning like I did work for someone one time, so I have
Right.
the value of the phone book. If what we've done successfully is we've looked at Lion Share as my company is leveraging our brand reputation,
Mhm.
we have been able to get a lot of high ticket work, higher ticket than the industry we're in with better margins
Mhm.
by leveraging what we do well. If someone asked me, Dave, if you were going to start a home service company today, what
Mhm.
would you do?
What would you do?
I would go into a market that has gutter cleaning seasonally, like Minneapolis,
Sure.
would run so fucking hard on gutter cleaning for a year to establish
Yeah.
a customer base that I could re-educate on higher end services.
It's so cool. It's funny you say that, man, because I just had a guy on the show. He thinks a lot like you, Dan Given. He's out the other side of the country where I am, but he's marching his way to 10 figures or to 8 figures. Sorry, with he has window cleaning as a front under a brand called Shine, and on the back end they sell super high end. You said staining. They do like deck staining, like very high end. Yeah. And I'm like, he went to the Hermosi workshop and he's got this clip of him saying, "This is my business." And Hermosi's like, "I would sell the front end and do the," and it's just like, it's literally what you're saying. Quick comment on this too, man. Like what I would love as a consumer right now, I'm on a call with you. I would love if I got a text message here that said, "Hey, your neighbor 3 doors up is getting their gutters clean. Press one if you want to accept and we can do yours for $2.99 too." And just like, if there's that level. Is
The
that privacy stuff or what?
text message laws, you
Okay.
can't. Yeah, you
Do you
can't.
think that's going to change though?
No, it's just getting worse. That's why it's
Uh,
why I didn't when I started Dope, I looked at getting into because I've owned a data company for 11 years now.
mhm.
I looked at text messaging, I looked at ringless voicemails, I looked at call centers. There's too many laws where like Canada, you guys float more towards the European guidelines. Over in the UK, you're kind of in the middle of
Yeah.
US and UK. And it's like even Canada, we get asked all the time at Dope, can you guys do this here? You can't because the individual homeowner data, there's different laws there. And from a
Okay.
cell phone perspective, because the debt consolidation, the real estate industries, the payday loans have just abused the out of the text message laws.
Hmm.
There's different cool ways to get opt-ins, and it's interesting from a marketing perspective. Life is predictable. History repeats itself. And when you look at like marketing trends and what's going on, dude, Google LSA came out what 2-3 years ago, and it was like the
Yeah.
bee's knees. It was like if you didn't get on LSA for your home service company, what were you doing? And now, because it's been so commoditized, because AI generalizes searches that now populate above that, like literally in Q3 and Q4 this year, Google was already getting bad the past 2 years just from placement, activity, keyword search terms, expensiveness. Like
Mhm.
now, Q3 and Q4, we're talking to kind. We don't do Google, we don't do Facebook. I'm just in the know or best practices. Where,
Sure.
dude, LSA has gone up 4 to 6x in home service over the past 4 months, and it's like
Mhm.
I believe that in a world of Amazonification, DoorDashification, instant gratification, not real, like you want trust, you want to look up reviews, but you're going to make a purchase on the internet without talking to somebody. It's important to individualize your marketing. It's like no longer are the days of like the shotgun approach of I'm going to spend 10 G's on Facebook. I'm going to send out 50,000 mailers. I'm going to blanket the town. It doesn't work anymore. It's like understanding. I'm going to selfishly speak about direct mail for a minute, but more
Let's hear it. I want to hear it.
standpoint, people think about direct mail, they think about zip codes, they think about EDDM, they think about getting out the most pieces for the less amount of money to get as much of a result so it works. Same with Google, same with Facebook, same with TikTok, same with door knockers, same with door hangers, doesn't matter. I am of the opinion that humans are predictable creatures. And when you think about all the years from when you were 18 or moved out of your house or whatever, like the home you rented or lived in up until however old you are right now, if you walked out your front door and everyone was outside, you have more in common with the people you live around. Go back to those stats. What's the American dream? It's owning a home. And so 90 million homeowners, 350 million Americans. Home service, we're not really focused on renters. So let's stick to the 90 million. When you think about those people, like not only if they all walked outside in their neighborhoods right now, are you probably around the same age? You probably have similar like careers or make the same amount of money. You might have kids around the same age or just same or similar lifestyles, nightlife, your homebody, you're doing the same, like whatever.
Mhm.
There's a predictability and understanding that like the neighbors at your current jobs are just 10 times more likely to hire you. That's a fact.
100%. Yep.
But not because you're the same age and you might hang out in the cul-de-sac, you might crack a beer, your kids might kick it, like whatever. We learned this in COVID. It's because not only do homeowners have things in common from buying behaviors, but your house was built around the same year
Mhm.
of around the same materials by 3 to 5 of the same builders. So not only the home purchase is similar, but the maintenance, improvement, and upkeep, like the same things are going wrong or are being maintained at the homes, whether it's keeping up with the Joneses with the cleaning or the HVAC or the roofing failing at a certain amount of time because the houses were all built around the same time. It's like you want to go into predictability, and predictability in marketing is simply like touching more of the right people more than shotgun blasting to get out in some neighborhood that you feel like you should be working in more, but you don't have any jobs in. It's like
Mhm.
the discipline of growth in a business is not about being good at sales. It's about having duplicatable systems. And the system marketing is like Harvard did a study and they said the average consumer needs 7 to 11 touches to trust a brand. What's our goal with a customer? I don't need to close 100% of my jobs. So like there's a stat. While we're on this podcast, whether you're listening, watching, replay, whatever, 3 to 7% of your target ideal customers actively searching for your services, like literally while you're listening or watching this. And the other 93 to 97%, like it's your job to be one of the 3 companies that they consider before they make a buying decision. And the way you do that is just hold yourself accountable for getting more touches around the neighborhoods you're working in because you already got the touch that landed the lead for that job. You showed up in your truck, you put out the sign, you were at the gas station in your hoodie, you did the 5 around with your door hangers. Like you already got 3 or 4 or 5 touches around this job, and then you put on the show when you were doing the work. You have to be reinvesting in these neighborhoods that you're working in versus like, what is this guy in the Facebook group doing on TikTok that I'm not doing? And how do I get distracted by that? So I step on.
Yeah. No, but it's true, dude. Like you got to do, that it's that 5 mile famous, and we call them our honey hives. Like I built my whole cleaning company, man, in like 30 neighborhoods, literally just going deeper and being like, I say this too, like, don't worry about getting, going viral online, like go viral in these neighborhoods. Cause that's where the people got the money. So I want to, two things, man, then we'll let you run. I want to hear what tool, I don't know how much you can share, cause I know you guys are doing some cool stuff, but if I'm a 500K window cleaning business, what tools could I leverage at Dope? And I can't let you out of here, man, without hearing how you balance a huge company with, you're a family man too. So I want to get your take on that, but let's start. Give me a tool at Dope that I could utilize as a cleaning business owner.
Yeah, so Neighborhood Blitz allows you to type in an address, draw a shape, send mail within a shape. And we're not the only company that does that. It's one of the things that we launched right away that I feel like our tech is really strong with. What we do better than any other company in this space, you come to us with your CRM and your customer list. We enable business owners to make data-driven decisions by getting better jobs in the right neighborhoods for less money that convert higher. And the way we do that, Dope, outside of just being a cute name, it stands for data on previous engagement. It's actually a military. And so like
Amazing.
we take your data. If you've been open for a year or more, we take your data and we show you how to advertise. We remove the guesswork and we can show you how to do it yourself, or we can execute on the whole thing for you, from design to strategy to tracking to reporting to A/B testing. Like we have training to show you how to do it. or we have a dedicated account team that can help depending on your industry, your vertical, and what you're doing.
So I'm gonna push you on this, man. Let's say you're a marketing guy at heart, man. I can tell. Let's say I have a cleaning business and I'm gonna put $5,000 into marketing. If I took that 5K and went with one of your packages at Dope, what would be, obviously it depends on area and time and how good we sell and everything, but in your business brain, I put 5K in 2026. How much should I book in top line revenue, assuming I'm half decent at sales?
I would like to see in the home service space, if we assume the average ticket is between $500 and $800 when it's all said and done, I would like to see a company getting a 3 to 5x ROAS, return on ad spend, from spending $5,000 with Dope over the course of the year. And the way we would do that is we would take your jobs, and like where I was saying, instead of on a zip code level, on a neighborhood level, think like Summit Hill, McAllister, Groveland, Cherrywood, like the actual neighborhoods of 150 to 700 homes. I would be coming in, and let's talk about spring, because different seasons, different focuses. I would come in the spring and I would be assessing all the work that I did from May to June of last year. We would help rank the services where you did the work. We would look at the average job ticket, and we would find real look-alike audiences, not some hashed audience on Facebook. We would generate a spreadsheet of homes that match the exact profile of the jobs that you already did. Same home value, same square footage, same length of residence, same roof type, same tiding type, like the things that matter. I don't care how long their grass is. I don't care the name of their kids. I don't care the color of the car they drive. That's where you get a little fluffy with the marketing.
Sure.
Care about the property, because and that's the other thing. Stop targeting income. It doesn't matter. No one's W-2 is public. That's all modeled. Home value is what matters when targeting homes. Yeah. Home value, square footage, and the year the home was built are the three that I care about. When I look at advertising for a business, and let's say the company had some money or a credit card or a budget, let's say spend $5,000 before June.
Okay.
We would do an analysis month over month of the neighborhoods they were working in, and we would create laser focused, granular marketing that called out the service, the neighborhood, and the job that was previously done in a series that would generate that 3 to 5x ROAS.
Through like direct mail and through.
Oh, yeah, I'm Tim Cohen.
Yeah. Yeah.
It would be direct mail complemented with some yard signs and door hangers from Dope. Yeah. But we also partner with agencies and share our strategies so that we can make the designs for your Facebook company and give you the list of people that we're mailing, so you or your company can run the Facebook ad.
So cool.
So
dude, one last thing just to compliment what you guys are doing. And I want to give a bit of a contrarian view. I think sometimes we think, let's say I engaged Dope for 5K, and let's say I booked 2X and I only, book 10K. Let's just say what a marketer thinks about is not necessarily getting those conversions into leads, but we should almost be thinking, in my market, how can I get this quarter touch point 2, 3, 4 going for my neighborhood, right? And there's probably tens of thousands of homeowners that got literature and you were only their third touch point. So I'm coming to Dope saying, WTF, where's my lead? But we got to play that long game. You got, like, I'm a married man, dude. You got to go on dates before you go ask the girl to marry you. And it's kind of a bit like that. Is that correct? Like a good analogy of marketing?
Business owners have to look at their marketing budget from branding spend and from conversion spend. A marketing campaign has a budget, a timeline, and an offer that can be tracked. I'm going to advertise to this neighborhood with this offer to these people for this amount of time, and I'm going to track the spend from that campaign. Not over a month, over 3 months, or whatever a reasonable attribution window is. But the idea is, like, I don't think business owners, especially ones that are like, money's expensive, it's tight, like we've all been there. Mm-hmm. You have to understand the value of a brand impression. So, like, quick story.
Yeah.
An obnoxious campaign that we run. It's called 52 Weeks of Dope. What it means is I'm going to pick the top 100 homes in my area and I'm going to send them a postcard every single week of the year until.
Wow. every week.
And I've gotten like up to 30% responses on these lists. I have gotten manila envelopes with nasty letters full of postcards like stop mailing me and everything in between. But it's like the intentionality. Think about it like this. You're running your business the last 3 years, you're doing 700K a year, whatever it is.
Mhm.
You have two neighborhoods this year. You have neighborhood A, where you've done 12 jobs. You're going to keep advertising, shaking hands, kissing babies, doing door hangers, running Facebook ads, doing whatever. Then you have neighborhood B, where over the course of 3 months, let's say 90 days, you're going to do the same thing you were doing in neighborhood A, but you're going to send a postcard to those 300 homes every week in neighborhood B. You're a smart guy, Dave. Which neighborhood is going to convert?
I think we know which one, man. B.
And if in a postcard is a buck,
Yeah.
so if I'm going to spend $900 or whatever the money is to do this, is that worth an increase in that investment? Because the way we track attribution in direct mail, and then we can get into the family question.
Yeah.
We are in the business of looking at, you have 1,000, let's just use even numbers. You got 1,000 contacts in Jobber, House Call, whatever you're using. 400 jobs, 600 prospects. I get you're in Minneapolis and there's 3 million people in the market. Those are, and everyone knows about you. You've been around forever. Those are feelings. The facts in the business are that 1,000 people know who you are. Every month, what we do at Dope, we try to find more people exactly like those 400 people to suggest them. Because attribution with mail or marketing isn't done in a month. You set up a trigger that we have a list of addresses that was not in your CRM. Anytime one of them becomes a lead, you get notified. Anyone becomes a completed job, you get notified. So the true attribution, when you look, if you offer gutter cleaning or you offer a low-end service or a $99 window package for 10 windows or whatever it is, at Lion Share Maintenance, if I get you in my database in March or April for a foot in the door service, I might be at your house 3, 4, 5 times this year. Are you calculating the value of a brand impression as it leads towards a conversion? Because sad stories, a lot of us probably are not doing that.
Dude, this just fires me up, man. I love it. I'll end with this, then we'll hit family and send you on your way. It's kind of the number. If you put the biggest problem small business owners face in one word, I would say it's obscurity. No one knows really who you are, and I think Dope helps solve for that one big problem. So that's super cool nerding out with you, dude. We're at time, but I want to get your take. You got 5 kids at home? You got 5 kids. You got 108 employees. You got all this money flying around. You share a lot on social, you know, how you've been able to grow your company, but you're also, dude, you're posting, you're in Puerto Rico. I see you at the NBA games, dude. You got great seats for those games. I'm like, this guy's a present family man from what I see online. Of course, it's very difficult running 2 things. So do you mind just speaking to, let's say, the family man who wants to be present, but they also have an appetite for ambition and growth as you do?
Where's your discipline? So for me, I know I am very, I don't say like rigid would be a strong word, but I very intentionally prepare myself for the world and prepare the world for me every day. I'm an early riser. One of my engineers was giving me the other day. So I'm a Zyn guy, and I got ID'd buying Zyns the other day, and Cole was joking with me because he's like, Dave, you drink all the potions, dude. So I gave up drinking. It'll be 4 years ago in March. Some of the other behaviors and habits, whether you're at home or going out, that comes along with that, and to each their own. Like, do whatever makes you happy. I'm not I no judgment on anyone. For me, when I made some decisions to just get a little bit more focused on the things that I found important, I got more into health, wellness, working out, recovery, because that was the common theme that I saw with the people that I defined as successful. And so I'll tell you some things about me. Like, if I don't work out, I don't feel as good as when I do. If I'm not focusing on eating half decent, staying a little hydrated, just like taking the supplements, doing the stuff. If I'm not doing the work, I can't do the work. And so for me, I just hold myself to a level of accountability. And I'm not saying I'm Mr. like weighing my almonds and counting macros and doing, again, with that stuff, I think to each their own. But from a time management, one of the most important numbers you'll ever hear in your life is 1440. It's how many minutes in a day. and we got to eat, we got to sleep, we got to use the bathroom, we got to hang out with our kids, we got to work. But selfishness, I think in the English language is used as sometimes as a negative word. I believe selfishness is a very positive word. If you're selfish about the things that make you a better person or that get you grounded so that you can be there for the people that depend on you. My definition of success used to be, I can say no to anything that I don't want to do. So I was financially in a place, or I was managing my time in a place. If I wanted to do something, I could do it. If not, I wouldn't. My definition of success has changed over the years, as I'm sure it is with most of us. For me, it's when I walk in my house, do the people that depend on me love me? And as accountable as I hold myself for that, I can say yes every day to that because I do take the time for myself to be able to be present for my business and my family. Like, I think being an entrepreneur is hard. Being a father is hard. Being a husband is hard. Being a business owner is hard. You know what would be way harder? Working at McDonald's. Like, having a job, doing something, not being in control of your destiny. So I think reminder for me is always like, when things get difficult, when things get hard, it's like, isn't this what I asked for? Like, you hear the sayings around, like, anytime you feel stressed, take a step back and ask yourself, are you closer to where you want to be than when you started? And more times than not, the answer to that question is yes. So how accountable do you hold yourself for being the best version of yourself, to being able to show up for what you signed up for? And for me, I don't have any secrets or tricks. I wake up early. I try to take decent care of myself. And in that, I just make commitments where, like, dude, I leave my cell phone upstairs at night when I'm hanging out with my kids. I make sure in the mornings we do a drill with my kids. What are you going to do today at school? I'm going to be a leader. I'm going to be kind. I'm going to look out for someone. At the end of we have a little drill that we go through. Just the being intentional with your time. We can all say, oh, our most valuable currency is our time. It's not our money. That all sounds good. But it's like, if you ask yourself, for all of us parents or husbands, wives, whatever, that have been in the place of like, oh, I'm spending too much time in the business. Oh, I'm focused too much on other stuff. Oh, like, that's a decision away. Because what I will tell you is, like, I've had every early morning, I've had every sleepless night, I've had every stress off payroll. My hairline is here for a reason, but it's like, I am very, very intentional about understanding what I put on my plate and how I manage it. And, like, really, when it comes down to it, man, it's that simple.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, that's so well said. I've heard it said pressure is a privilege, and you got pressure in your home life, you got it in your business, but you've brought it on yourself, and it sounds like you're in a great place with it. And dude, it's so cool being a dad. I taught my our little guy, he's 2.5 years old. He goes up to his mom now. He goes, "Mom, you're a legend." I'm just like, it's like, it's so cool. Or he sinks a basketball hoop. He goes, "All day, Dad." I'm just like, yeah, it's just so much fun, and all the same joys you get, man. It's just amazing.
Brother. Amen.
I love it, man. Well, let's wrap. Where's the best place you got audience of home service business owners? Where would you like to kind of funnel them through this episode to learn more about Dope and more about Dave Carroll?
Dopemarketing.com, DOPE marketing.com. If you look us up on Facebook, it says you're looking up. You're not. It's trying to talk to Zuckerberg about it. But if you're online, you can find us. We're at a lot of the trade shows. We have our podcast rolls out beginning of Q1 that will be interviewing Dave, a bunch of other amazing people. Dope Marketing, anywhere you can find us. We're pretty easy to find.
I love it, dude. I appreciate you donating 50 of your 1440 today to us, brother.
A pleasure, David.